Welcome back. So in this video, I'm actually going to be talking to you guys about the absolute value. The absolute value is simply just the distance away from zero that a number is. So for example, if we look at the number -3, so -3 is 3 units away from zero. And the same is true for the number 3. The number 3 is also 3 units away from zero. This means that for any number, the absolute value makes the number inside positive. This means that the absolute value of -4 is just 4, and the absolute value of 4 is also 4. So if we have that the absolute value of x is equal to 3, that means that our x can possibly be either positive 3, or it can be that x is equal to -3. This means that whenever you're solving absolute value equations, you have two cases. One, where the inside of the absolute value is set equal to the original. And for the second case, the inside of the absolute value is set equal to the negative case. So let's try an example and solve for x in the absolute value of 3x minus 4 equal to 5. The first thing we have to do is make the original case and set the inside, which is 3x minus 4, equal to the original case, which was positive 5. Or we can have the negative case, where the inside 3x minus 4 is set equal to -5. Now we have both our original case and our negative case, so let's just solve for x. So we can add 4 to both sides, and then once we do that, we have 3x is equal to, our 4's cancel out, 5 plus 4 is 9. We can divide 3 to both sides, and the reason why we're doing this is because there is a number in front of our variable, which is 3, and we want to get rid of it. So we have to divide to both sides because the operation is multiplication. So once we do that, we get that x is equal to positive 3. Now let's do the other case. We can again add 4 to both sides, and so we get that 3x is equal to -5 plus 4, that's -1, and now again we just divide 3 to both sides, so our x is equal to -1/3. This means that we have two solutions. And whenever we have more than one solution, we can create something called a solution set. A set is just a list of numbers inside of squiggly brackets. So our solutions were 3 and -1/3. So these can both go inside this solution set. And this is our final answer. This notation is actually called set notation. Now let's look at the next example. If you guys notice, this example is a little different than from the previous one, and the reason is because it has something on the outside of the absolute value sign. Whenever you're solving for an absolute value problem, you always have to remember to get the absolute value alone on one side first. So let's try to isolate the absolute value on one side. To do this, the operation that's going on between the -2 and the absolute value is multiplication, because there is no other symbol there. This means that to get rid of it, we have to divide both sides by -2. So once we do this, this cancels out the -2, and we're left with the absolute value of 12 plus 3x equal to -18 divided by -2. A negative over a negative is positive, so this is just positive 9. And now we've gotten it back to our original case. So it's alone on one side, and now we can just solve for it just like we did with the other problem. So we can make our two cases. The inside of the absolute value this time is 12 plus 3x, and we are going to set that equal to the original, which is 9. Or we can have our second case, which is again the inside, which is 12 plus 3x, and we're going to set that equal to the negative case, which is -9. Now we can just solve for x. So if we subtract 12 to both sides, subtract 12, we end up getting 3x is equal to 9 minus 12, that is -3. And again, since we have a 3 in front of x, and it is being multiplied, we can get rid of it by dividing by 3. So we have that x is equal to -3 divided by 3, that is just -1. So this is one of our solutions. Now let's go on to the second case. For the second case, we're going to solve this exactly the same way. So we can subtract 12 to both sides, and we're left with 3x is equal to -12 minus 9, or -9 minus 12. That is -21. So we can divide both sides by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. So we have x is equal to -7. And this is our other case. So our final solution set is -1 and -7. So this is our final solution. So that is generally how you can always solve for absolute value equations. First, get the absolute value by itself, then set up your two cases and just solve for x. In the next video, I'm going to be talking about inequalities and intervals and conclude the absolute value topic. Remember to click the subscribe button.